Hello. Hello. It's me again. Hey, you guys, thank you so much. I would like to start with saying thank you so much. Thank you so much for this positive response that I got from my first video. I really appreciate. Thank you for your words of encouragement, and thank you for, subscribing and telling me other things that I need to talk about. Like, you're a massive support. I really appreciate. So thank you so much. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, and share about my channel, so let other people get to know about Daring the Desert. So thank you so much, and welcome to another episode of the Daring the Desert show. Now today I'm going to talk about a very sensitive topic, something that I think I've shared with a couple of my friends or people who are near me, but it's about me, but about something that is concerning the society. And I may go a bit emotional. That's why I have this here, but hopefully I would not get to that point. But this is something that I feel that I need to talk about, create awareness, and encourage somebody out there. Did you know 150,000 to 200,000 babies around the world each year are born with clubfoot? This 80% of these children are born in low or middle income countries. In Kenya alone, over 2,000 babies are born with clubfoot each year, including me. What is clubfoot? Clubfoot is a complex congenital deformity of the foot, also known as congenital talipes. It is caused by abnormal development of a baby's bones and muscles while in the womb. Without treatment, the clubfoot deformity causes a lifetime of disability, as the affected individual experiences pain and difficulty in walking. People with untreated clubfoot find it difficult to access education, employment, and experience exclusion from the society. Now, clubfoot is, if I can explain in a way, layman term, is when a baby is born and one of the feet or both the feet have either turned this way or turned this way. And I'm one of them. So I was born with clubfoot on my right leg, and has been a journey, which of course most of it I don't know, but my mom have told me about it. So when I was born, I had the deformity, and I was born in Kenyatta National Hospital in Kenya. And after that, 3 days after my birth, they had to cast my leg. So one of the treatment for this is early casting of the leg. Now, a lot of people, especially back at home or from the villages, when you have kids, not everybody is able to access childbirth in hospital. But let me tell you, when you have a friend or a relative who has a baby with a deformity, let's stop, attacking these parents and saying maybe something to do, with evil spirits or something. This is something that happens as the baby is being formed in the womb, and there's treatment for it. As long as you take the child to hospital at a very young age, at least if it's very possible, take the child to hospital. If you you give birth to the baby at home, take the child to hospital within a week of since when the baby is born. So all they do is that they cast the leg. According to what I've been told is that I used to get my cast changed every 2 weeks. Of course, the baby grows very fast, and from the day of birth to a month, the baby really grows very fast. So as the baby grows, the bones are being formed and strengthened. So this is the best time to take your child to hospital and have them start casting the leg. And once they start casting the leg, the leg, starts forming and forming until it is like this. So I had that done on me, and this is according to what I've discussed with my mom. So I walked in 9 months. Actually, I've asked a few parents about how long the baby takes to walk, because my mom kept telling me that I walked very fast. I walked in a very early age of months. So I realized that children walk maybe after a year or something. So they say I walked in about 9 months, and this was because of the exercise that the doctors were doing on me, as they removed the cast and they changed the cast to a different one. So this is the process that is done, and really I would like to put this information out there that if you get a child with this deformity, please don't be ashamed. Don't. And if you have relatives who have kids that are going through this, you should be an encouragement and encourage that person to seek treatment. Now, I have one mark here, not quite a mark, but a cut. And I understand that one of the times that they were removing the cast, nurse accidentally cut me here. Now, I think I find it funny, because when I heard that story, I hear that the nurse was really treated well by my mother, and I should inform you in advance that my mother is a tigress. So she handled it her way, because she thought that the nurse cut the whole of my leg, and she was like, trying to fix this, you're cutting the whole leg. So she handled it her way. However, I feel like whenever I see this cut, it makes me appreciate my parents so much, because I'm glad that they were enlightened and they were able to take me out for treatment at that early age. Now, a lot of parents hide their children, especially when they give birth to children with deformity. They feel like they want to hide this from the community. They don't want anybody to know about it. No. It's time you come out. This is not something that a parent should be ashamed of. No. This is a time for you to show show your strength to your child. That child needs you. Don't hide the child. Seek treatment. Now, I would like to talk about stigmatization. Because once a parent gives birth to a child with clubfoot, a lot of people will start stigmatizing the child and the parent as well. I remember I grew up in the village, and I'm the second born in a family of 6. So I have 5 sisters and 1 brother. And the vivid scenarios that I remember, there was one time in the village life when some women, or they want to attack your mother. Some of them don't have the courage to attack the mother directly, so they attack the mother through the child. So one day we were playing outside, and one lady came around and attacked me. And she looked at all of us who were playing, and then she just suddenly called me a cripple. Now, I had been taught by my mother that nobody should try that on me. And if it happens, I should report to her. So this woman does that. And of course, I ran to the house and I reported it to my mother. My father was there as well. And I should warn you, my mother is a tigress. Yes. My father is a bit calm, but my mother, when we were growing up, she was a tigress. Thank you to the old age now. So I went and reported that. And my mother was cooking dinner. So she just looked at me and she said, "You know you're not a cripple, right? Don't worry about people like that. You're not a cripple, you're my child." And I was like, okay. And my father looked at my mother and he was like, okay, just like that. And my mother continued cooking, continue singing. There's something about African women when they are doing their chores and singing. They're just holding it. So she didn't do anything. The following day, wake up, she prepared us to school, and then she started doing her chores. So my dad did not go to work early because he still felt this issue hasn't settled down and she hasn't said anything about it, and he doesn't want to start the conversation because he doesn't know what will happen. If she has forgotten, he doesn't want to talk about it, but he wants to just check the mood before going out. So she did her stuff, cleaned up, and she even started making lunch for us because I think we were going to school, and then in coming back around 1 or 2, I think. So she used to make something for us to eat when we got out of school, and then after that we wait for dinner. So start preparing. So my father looking at her like this, he's like, she's okay. This story ended last night. He prepared and he went to work. And my mom took a stool and a cane. So she knew what time these women go to fetch water. So she went and she waited for her. And she came. The tigress in her came out. In short terms, ever since that day, nobody in the whole community ever tried to stigmatize me. Never. Because they knew if you tried, you will face her. I'm proud of her. that she did that for me. Very proud of her. Because in my childhood, nobody ever tried that. I never had anybody come to me and try to intimidate me or try to bring me down or call me names. Never happened. I am not saying that you should do the same thing that my mother did. All I'm saying is that you should support your children, and you should not be ashamed of who your children are or how they were born, but give them encouragement. And to the community, shame on you. Whoever stigmatizes children because of their deformity, shame on you. These are some of the things that happen in children's lives that they take all the way to their maturity. Recently, I was watching a YouTube show called Medha ya Kagoni with a nice Wanjeri interview. And there's something that she said that struck my mind. She said that when you look at so many people who go through depression in their lives, in their adult lives, or had emotional stuff in their adulthood, when you look at it very deep, it goes back to their childhood, and until that is healed, they cannot heal in their adulthood. Now, a lot of that is not just caused by the child herself or this grown person himself or herself, but is caused by what the community instilled in that child. And she cannot or he cannot go past that, because this is what the community put in their head. Now, I know right now that we are more advanced and we know stuff, but we should not overlook the more that we advance, know stuff, enlightened, that you still have negativity in you. It's time to walk over that. Now, this is a whole more bigger story, but I just want to pass that out to the community, that let's support each other. Let's support. Prevent as much as you can from stigmatizing parents and children. Now, yes, I have told you I had clubfoot. So one of the things that has happened to me, even as I grew up, is if you look at me, I have so many marks on my legs. If you see my knees, so many scars. Now, this is because my leg was always weak. I remember my mother said she banned me from playing. So she was always like looking out, and she'd be like, "You're not going out to play." She never allowed me to play those running games and everything, because also as I'm growing up, she's afraid of, reoccurring, like something can happen to my leg. And my leg was weak, and it's also a bit shorter than the other one. So anytime I ran, I'll fall down, and from wherever she is, she'll be screaming. Now, she never treated me as a special child. That she never did. She brought me up the same way she brought up my sisters and my brother. So she never gave me any special treatment. She wanted me to grow up as a very normal child as possible. But whenever I would play and fall, when you're a child, you fall and you start crying, she'll come and beat me again, because she warned me from playing, and I'm still playing. But I was like, I really thought like she hates me, but she didn't hate me. She just was trying to avoid me from falling. And you know, because I would like twist my leg. I think I twisted my leg a lot of times that she actually had a bandage in the house every other time she's putting the bandage on my leg, because when it's twist she has to put a bandage on my leg so that it, you know, the healing and everything. But I never ever stopped playing. That's why when you see me on all these marks, this is the reason. Now, another thing is that my leg is a shoe number less than the other leg. So this time, me and my sisters we went to buy shoes, and my sisters thought, you know, when we bought shoes, first of all, this is so funny. When I was growing up, I think until grade 7, I think, I never wore leather shoes when I was in school. I don't know if you remember North Star shoes. That is what they were, white North Star shoes. That is what I wore. And in the parade, in the assembly, I was the only one with white North Star shoes. Because my parents felt that leather shoes is going to, you know, it's not going to be flexible or something like that. So I was unique in that way until I think was in class 7 when we changed schools. We were in Hakima Primary School, and then we changed to Ngong Hills Academy. So when we changed to Ngong Hills Academy, I think she thought this is the right time for me to introduce me to leather shoes. So whenever she was buying shoes for us, she'll buy, and my pair of shoe, she'll take it to the what are they called? Those guys who make shoes. Yeah, those ones, you know them. So inside the shoes, at the edge of the shoes, they would add another piece of leather there, because my foot is shorter than the other one. So they add a piece of leather there so that my feet will be, yeah, it will fit me. So one day me and my sisters were buying shoes. My mother was not so keen, and we decided, my elder sister, God bless her. So my elder sister decided, and she told me, she said, you know what, instead of us buying, you know, that size, why don't we mix them? You know, this foot will be my number and this one will be a number less. And we did that. We cashed out, but my mom paid and we went home. Only when we went home, then she discovered what we did. My dear, my mother never allowed us to be sneaky. So that one, of course, she dealt with us. And ever since that day, we never tried to do that again. Even when I grew, I never did that again. Now, being that my foot is still, even to date, is a bit weak, and I'm prone to accidents all the time. Not accident, you know, normal accident, like I'm walking, like recently, I think 2 years ago, I was just walking. I deal with real estate. I'm a real estate agent here in Bahrain. So I was showing my client a house and I slipped. When I slipped, I finished showing my client, dropped my client back, and I went back to the office. When I went back to the office and I sat, I realized that my leg was paining, and looking at it, it was all swollen. Mark you, I don't wear heels. I just wear flat shoes. But it's that easy. It's that easy. However, I still, I still get through all of this. So actually I ended up having my Christmas with a cast. So for me, it's very, very, my leg is very, very fragile, but it never stops me from doing anything that I want. It never stops me from that. So coming to what shoes do I wear? When I was in college, I decided, the way you go to school and then that's when you realize, oh, people wear heels, and I have not been wearing heels all this while. My mother never allowed me. So all the pocket money they give me about shoes, heels like this. Then I walk home, I go home, and when she saw me coming, she dropped whatever she was doing and looked at me. She started shivering. I'm like, what? Don't I look good? She went like, Esther, are you okay? Because her biggest fear was I wear heels and I break my leg. But for me, I felt like, the trend is not going to stop me. So she had to sit down with me and explain to me. However, she never stopped me. At a certain time in my life, I loved heels so much. I loved heels so much. And there's a point in my life I would just buy heels to look at them. I felt like I want to wear them. I do wear heels. Don't get me wrong. I do wear heels. But there are particular kind of shoes I cannot wear. But I just love them. Until, I grew up and I was like, this is being silly to myself. Why should I be buying all these shoes? And I can't wear them. I just buying them to look at them. And even if I wear heels, I would not wear heels with sharp, those girlish shoes with sharp, heels, not for me. If I wear heels, I wear heels with a wider heel. At least it can, because my foot is flat like this. Yeah. Sandals. When I wear sandals and I walk in sandals, my foot will be all with dust because I drag my foot. So normally you would never see me in sandals, heels. I wear more of boots and sneakers, rubber shoes, all that. That's what I wear. So next time you ask me, oh, why are you wearing a nice dress with boots? Girl, that is the thing. Okay. Back to the whole thing. Now, if you're in Kenya and you have a child with clubfoot, as I have said, these children really need hope. And these children really need us to support them. And even the parents, they need our support. Enlighten people in the community from the grassroots level about clubfoot. It is not an evil spirit. The mother did not do anything. The family is not cursed. But it's just a condition that can be fixed. When I look back, I thank God and I thank my parents so much because they never gave up on me. Now, I sit down a lot of times and I think and I say to myself, what if they never took the initiative to take me to hospital? What if they never took the initiative to get treatment for me? I wouldn't be where I am today. And the question goes also to you as a parent. Where will your child be when you take this initiative to seek treatment for your children? And as a community, don't look down on these children, because you don't know tomorrow where they will be. Encouragement is my word. Encouragement is my word. So once again, I would like to remind you that early treatment for clubfoot prevents the child from having a lifetime disability, and empowering the community is what is more and more needed, so that our people understand, and even everybody around the world understands about clubfoot, and you seek early treatment. Now, if you're in Kenya, maybe somebody will ask, where should I get treatment? If you're in Kenya, in Nairobi, there is Care International in Kijabe Hospital. You can take children there. There is free treatment of clubfoot at Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital, AIC Care Hospital in Kijabe, Mbagathi Hospital, IPDK Westlands, and Pumwani Maternity Hospital. Please, from wherever you're watching from, if you've heard about clubfoot, if you're from a different country, or you're from Kenya, or whatever part of it you are, leave a comment on the comment section and say which hospital you do know that provide these services, so that we can keep people informed and they can get to know where to seek treatment. Also, even in the rural areas, I would like to know where they seek treatment, or let's engage and let us get to know. Wow, guys, thank you so much. I'm just humbled that I have this platform and this opportunity to share this with you and enlighten somebody, and also have a communication channel for us to talk about issues affecting the society. So thank you so much, and thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for your support. And I would like you to remember to subscribe, give me some advice, encourage somebody, share your story, and let's build the country. For the parents who have children with clubfoot, I'd like to remind you that when the small legs walk, a time to shine is born. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining me here on Daring the Desert Show. Asante.